And welcome to Talladega Super Speedway here in the Racers Elite League. It's the Xfinity cars here tonight. I should have a new tower set up here, but evidently when I updated on my tower stuff, it didn't want to pull that over with it. So let me roll over to the old Racers Elite one that I had, because that one is only going to be the one that works, evidently. So let me change that very quickly while I get that updated. iRacing and basically everything has gone through a big change right now, but qualifying is finished. So first on the board will be Danny Jackson, second, Frank Chavez, third, Austin Norris, fourth, Timothy Yisburn, fifth, Kirby Wainscott, sixth, Terry Fennell, seventh, Pete Bellini, eighth, Chris Goxel, ninth, Barry Nelson, 10th, Aaron Marcus, 11th, Truth Hoke, 12th, Jack Kelly, 13th, Alan Carter, 14th, Steve Castle, 15th, Brent Bray, 16th, Mike Fudge, 17th, Andrew Teff, 18th is Trevor Fettig, 19th, Steve Vest, and 20th is Curtis Eckert here. I need to also pull up my trading paints for these drivers once they get on track, because that will not want to update correctly for me. So waiting for about 2 people to grid. I'm joined here by Mike. He was here last week too.
Howdy, Bryce. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. A little bit tired, but I'm here.
I absolutely hear that. I am so excited to be back up here in the booth with you, man. And can't wait to get this race started.
Drivers are getting ready to pull off here very shortly. Everybody has gridded. It's 94 laps in these cars. And I believe it's 75% fuel like we normally see. Let me just make sure. Yes, 75% fuel. It is unlimited tire changes, however, so got to keep that in mind. They just rolled off pit road, or rolled off the track. I'll give them all a paint refresh right now if I can get it to pull up on my end. Looks like it is not wanting to give me one, so give me a second here. Already given it. So this is, I believe they're getting towards the end of their season with these cars, but it's been pretty good so far. Last week I don't know what they ran. I think they ran ARCA, I believe. It's been a while. I've had a lot of stuff going on, but they've done good so far. It was a little bit of a wreck fest last time, though. Hopefully these guys will get that straightened out. These Xfinity cars, you can shove a little bit harder than you normally can in the ARCA cars. When I say ARCA cars, I mean like Gen 4. That's what the ARCAs used to be. Now they're way updated, but these guys will hopefully get that up under them. Looking up for some standings also while they're getting ready to take the green.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, especially with these Xfinity cars, we got to watch them. And when you bump with these things, you want to make sure you do it dead center, because if you bump in the corner panels of these cars, that's just a recipe for disaster.
Trying to find standing. Where does he have it on there? No, he put it in here somewhere. We'll find that in a minute as these guys are coming off of 4. His car is getting ready to pull off, as it does right there. So it will be Jackson and Chavez that will lead them to green. A little bit of a blinker there behind him. That is Norris. That is not going to be good for Wainscott in front of him, as the green flag is in the air. We are underway here.
And we have trouble already. The 55 is around.
I saw that in the very back. That would have been the Truth Hoke is what it says. Yeah, he's gotten back rolling. This is going to be somebody missing the shift on the start, it looks like, possibly here. Yep. So the 47 most likely hung a gear, and then it was just a stack up from there. Hoke got a pretty bad end of that, but that definitely breaks up the pack here early on. That will put Chavez to the lead as all that was going on, and I was looking at what happened back there.
Yeah, that's definitely a very tight situation. Here at Talladega, I mean, any super speedway for that matter, you missed a shift here, it is absolutely devastating for your race.
Yeah, it's easy to do with just all of like getting up through the gears. You're trying to get up through them faster than everybody else, and trying to gear. Some people they slam into gear a little bit too quickly, and that will just happen with people. And especially with the shifter they have, I used to have a shifter that would be very bad at that. But that's just a mistake that'll happen every now and then. I think we might have somebody else around, if I'm not mistaken. I just swore I just heard some more tires somewhere, but I guess I'm just hearing some things. But we've got the 92 of Timothy Eisbrand up in that high line right now. 92 target car. Right there, he's got the 50 of Terry Fennell behind him. Curtis Eckert just ran the fastest lap of the race, 52.05. That's his lap time. Expect most people just to stay on this bottom. They will not really move up off that bottom line. They're probably going to stay right around it. Save tires, save some fuel. Really save fuel more than anything else. See the 13 and the 14, 7, 10, and the... Who is that back there? Neon green car, or the 707.
Yeah.
Chris Goxel.
Yeah, I definitely agree with, staying on the bottom. But unlike last week, you're going to see that outside lane move a little bit better than you did last week in the ARCA cars. So it's definitely a lot going to be more side-by-side racing today. So we're definitely in for a big treat with that.
The 92 and the 50. 92 still sticking up in that high line. The 50's not really on his bumper to give him an aero shove up there, so that's why he's kind of struggling here, falling back a little bit. You really need that car right up on that second car right up on your bumper to give you an aero shove, so he's kind of just on his own right there, struggling at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to be right on the back bumper, which he finally was able to right there, inch closer there. And now you see them here running, a little bit two different lines. So they definitely need to get themselves more into a straight line to have more momentum on that outside.
See, Eisbrand looks like he might have kind of heard that a little bit because he's gotten a decent shot up here a little bit now. He's gotten up just a tad further. So he's getting up there a little bit better. Let's see what he can do, though. See the 196. He is way off pace, just away from everybody at the moment. Looks like he's able to tuck back in, though. He's going to have to hope that he can tuck back in. It's going to be really his only saving grace there at this moment in time. He's got to stay within the draft of somebody. But if he doesn't, he's probably going to drop very, very quickly.
Yeah, well, once you get, right about like a half a second behind the cars in front of you, there is like an 80% chance that you're going to lose the draft and they'll be back around you in probably about 10 laps.
It's such a big pace difference. You drop about 10 miles an hour. And it's so noticeable when that happens. Everybody's still just staying in that high line. Pretty orderly. They're not really bump drafting. They're just giving more aero shoves than anything else to each other. Being pretty good overall.
Yeah, so far they've been pretty settled compared to last week. And so I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Side by side racing. You know, no one really trying to make any, take moves. And I'm really excited to get this race, further down the road and to the end of it. Because let me tell you what, if they're racing now the way that, or they're going to race then, how they're racing now, it's going to be an incredible finish.
We're probably going to see pit stops around lap 30-ish, if I had to say, somewhere around there. You don't want to hit too, I'm going to say 35 to 30, 35 to 39 is where it should be. You're not going to pit early. You're not going to pit off cycle. Pitting off cycle is one of the absolute worst things you can do. You do not want to be out there all by your own. It's just a bad idea. Very, very bad idea.
Definitely. And you want to make sure that you have some friends coming with you for sure. You know, you don't want to be one of those cars, that's left out hanging by themselves. And if we go back to last week, we had 2 green flag stops, and each stop it bit about 2 or 3 people each time, for speeding on pit road. So they're definitely going to want to watch that as well when they come down pit road.
See that 13, he's just stuck on the bottom. The 14 is stuck with him too. Eisbren seems to be content with riding the top. So does the 50. Everybody seems to be content with where they are. They're not trying to shove each other up and push each other past here. They're just riding at the moment, it seems like. So we'll have to see if they continue to do that. If they don't, they're going to be running up on a lap car here. I believe that may be Steve Vest, possibly. I think it is.
That's actually Alan Carter in the number 37 machine.
Oh, no. Yeah, you were correct. I was way off. He had to use his fast repair because he did not have a hood. Hoke is still holding on to his. I'd be worried if I was Hoke with radiator because that nose is bent in pretty well. He's going to need a quick caution here. He's going to have to hope for multiple cautions. So hopefully that he gets one. I don't think he'll use his fast repair. I think he'll try to save his fast repair. That does look like it's fixable damage. They'll pull the nose out. They'll try to pull the rear bumper out. I think they'll get most of it out, to be honest with you. It doesn't look like it's too bad. As long as you have a front end, that's what matters more than anything else.
Absolutely. And this pack caught that lap car at the right time on the exit of turn 2. And more than half the field was able to get around that lap car of Alan Carter. So that's definitely the best place to catch a lap car is on the straights because you got less car movement and you can safely get around them.
And you don't really want to be catch them in the corner. Catch them in the corner is one of the weirdest things. At Superspeedway, it's not as bad. I will say that much. At ovals, it is way worse because you catch them in the middle of the corner and that just kills your exit and it kills your entry. These guys, but Superspeedway is all you can really hope for with the lap cars. They just hold their lane. As long as they hold their lane and you know where they're going, you should be fine with it. That's all that really matters to that person.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, that is the 55. He's going to get way out of the way at the moment. He does not want to be in the path of anybody, so Hope will stay up high. So he'll just let him go on there pretty much. So he's going to be able to tuck in. He'll be able to get a draft off of that group in front of him. That's what he was hoping for sure.
Yeah, that was a very smart move there. Tuck down in, as soon as you can and ride that draft.
See a little bit more moving up off the bottom. Chavez kind of ventured up. Jackson looks like he probably shoved up just a tad also, so have to keep an eye on him. Making sure he's not moving around too much. Start moving around too much, something you get a little bit worried that might be their car. Their handling's going away, their tires are starting to go away. Something's happening to them that they do not like at all, is what it seems like for them.
Yeah, definitely something that they can, begin to take a look at. As you see the 92, go ahead and just give up that middle line. It looks like he's going to drop towards the back here.
Wonder if that was fuel saving. He had been leading that whole group, so that's going to hurt his fuel pretty badly. So that's an option that he may have taken. You burn probably about 5 laps extra fuel when you do not save it. When you do save it, you're probably extending yours to about 4 or 5 extra laps on that alone.
Exactly. But when you come in around this track out front, you're full throttle on the gas. There is no lift for you because you got 20 other people running right behind you, and you definitely don't want to get ran over. So you will definitely absolutely burn more fuel than anything being out front. So this actually might be a smart move by Yasbrand in the 92.
He's gone to the lead. He is a familiar face leading at Superspeedway. It seems like he is always up front no matter what. He just does good at these tracks, evidently. He's got the 8 behind him. That is Curtis Ecker with him. We need to see what they do. Looks like they're going to go down to the bottom and get... They're going to stay down the bottom. The 17 thought about going to the bottom. I don't think he had room to go down there, though. That was the issue. Let me just see what he does. He wanted to go with Tef. It's a possibility, but he just didn't have the room for it.
Yeah, I just want to point out the 92 is still having trouble, getting down into that middle lane with the middle lane cars. I'm not sure something's amiss with that machine at the moment.
He's got a gap between the 1 here, possibly, if he wanted to take it. I don't know if he's going to take it, though, but he got a shot there if he wants to. See what he does with that. I think he still has the draft from Hoke. It's not a very strong one, but I think he still has just enough of it to where he's still being pulled. As you can see, he gains a little bit there, so I think he does have that draft right there that he's using to kind of slingshot himself forward. I'm kind of with you. I don't know why he's not going down. I mean, it can't hurt him to go on down.
Right.
But he may be shoved up to a 3rd line here if he's not careful. He's leaving that open for the 1.
Yeah, it seems like getting into these corners that he's just really tight, and it drives his car up the track.
The 98 and 8 still out front here. 1-2. Ford pushing a Chevy. Sorry, Chevy pushing a Ford. You've got Castle up in the high line right now. So that high line seems to have a decent amount of cars in there. There's not too many, but there is a handful of them, but they're not really close enough together to, I think, really benefit each other to help. I think that they're still hurting each other overall. If they can maybe get stacked back up, they can help each other, but I just don't see it happening with how it's running right now. They are very, very far apart.
Yeah, it's just absolutely like mind-blowing to me. Overall, like how the draft works, and like who thought, putting 2 cars together will make them go faster, versus a single car alone. And so when we come, like, I've been watching NASCAR, since I can remember, and I'm 36 years old now, and I can't fathom, like, it's so phenomenal about how drafting works and the type of racing we get from it.
think within 10-ish laps, these guys are going to start going down pit road. I don't think they're going to be forced too soon to do it, though. I think they've got a decent amount of time. See how that goes.
Now, Bryce, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you want to come down with the big pack, or would you want to come down with, say, maybe like 5 or 6 cars?
Well, there's two parts to that. Can you get to the bottom first? You don't want to be shooting from that middle, from that high line. If you can get with the big pack, I'd get with the bigger pack, just because if you mess up, hopefully somebody else messes up with you, and you're able to, you know, have somebody with you still. The smaller the group, the cleaner it is going to be on pit road, but you have to be perfect on pit road. You cannot be messing up at all, because that will absolutely kill your chance. So I would prefer to get with the bigger group here, if possible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I absolutely see that. For me, I'm actually the total opposite, because it's a lot cleaner coming down pit road. For me, I have tried coming down big packs before, and it don't work out so well for me. But having that smooth pit stop in a smaller pack is absolutely crucial.
Yeah,
So that's definitely a very good idea.
it also depends on how aggressive you want to be getting in. You know, I'm someone, when I come in any track, I'm smoking the tires getting in, because I know I'm getting them off. Some guys, they'll tiptoe down pit road. At Superspeedways, I am the one of the last people to ever touch their brakes. So it depends on how aggressive you want to be getting in, because you can gain 3 or 4 spots doing that, but you do not. But it's a fine line, because if you overstep it, you go, you know, 5 feet too long, then that's a speeding penalty for you. So it's how much guts you have, pretty much, at that point.
Oh, absolutely. You're definitely talking my kind of pit entrance. Like when I come out, I don't know how you do, but when I come out of turn 4, I'm lightly on the brake, heavy on the brake.
Yeah, I've kind of found, like, I tend to drag it a little bit longer, just because it seems like that actually helps me from locking up. But I've rear end kicked out, everything, brake bias as far as I can, get it back to the rear so I can get enough stopping power. But it looks like I'm dirt tracking it out there, because I'm trying to get as much as I can. But these guys don't appear to be looking like they're going to pit road, though, because they are still too wide, and they've actually widened it back out after I thought they'd close it back in. Instead, they just said, "Now let's just screw that. Let's just go back to being normal."
Yeah, we're still just now completing the 22nd lap of the event. We are in for 94 total today. So, I mean, it's still a little bit too early in my eyes to try to be making your way down to that low line. But it also depends on, you know, who you're working with as well.
High line has gotten some more cars here, and I know that we definitely got some of them in here that are hoping that a caution will happen. I know that, I mean, you wouldn't try to take a wave around here. You come down the road, but there is a battle for, you know, being 1 lap down right now at the moment. It's like Hope might be able to get that right now. Somebody's shot to the bottom, so looks like they're trying to somewhat set up for going down pit road.
Yeah, Barry Nelson in that 196 machine, he got booted to the outside, and he fell all the way back to that 13th position, it seems.
See what can. They've been running. So they're still running race pace. They haven't fallen off at all. They're still running 180 down the corner. So they're not saving fuel. Teft is going to be probably even on fuel, because he was riding in the back. The 92 might be able to balance out his fuel here possibly. Now, you do want to make sure that you are not uncheck your crash repair. Maybe uncheck your tires to a certain point. I don't think it's gonna be to a. I don't know if you take tires here. I'd be iffy on that.
Well, I know I'm getting a full tank of gas, and so I'm not really going to lose anything by taking 2 tires. So normally what I do in these events is I'll start off with my left sides. I'm sorry, my right sides, and then later on in the race, I'll get my left sides done.
I don't. When you're taking a full tank, you can get at least two tires. 4 is a little bit pushing it because I feel like they can get it full before then. But we'll just have to see what these guys do. I think we'll see most likely 4 tires here though overall. I think. Hopefully.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know. We'll find out.
I mean, we're just the broadcasters. What do we know?
Well, broadcasters and racers to a certain extent, even though I haven't raced in I don't know how long. It's been a while. Yeah, it's been bad.
Yeah, I absolutely know that feeling. I haven't raced in maybe about 3 months now.
Everybody's moved down to the bottom here, so I want to keep an eye on that. I want to see if they go any further than this. Because they're getting close to that window where they can start thinking about coming down. I don't think it's going to hurt them too badly.
That last time, going through the tribal, the 14 of Daniel Jackson, he got a little bit squirrely going through the tribal. It looked like the back end of his car just stepped out just a tad. So now I'm wondering if these cars are starting to experience that looseness in the tribal that could be very devastating. That has happened quite a few times.
We'll need to see. I know they're not hitting each other yet, so if it is being loose, it's because they're hitting that bump and they're finally starting to bottom out. And that fuel load is also, you know, it's being reduced right now, so rear end's probably starting to raise up just a little bit. It's not handling the same as it was before. But we'll just need to see what they do here. I don't think, yeah, I mean, the only person that's up on the bumper right now is Hector on Taft. Everybody else has got like a car length to half a car length gap, so I think they probably are seeing a little bit of maybe wear, maybe not paying attention also, because you kind of forget that that bump is there, and if you hit it a certain way, it definitely kind of surprises you sometimes.
Yep, absolutely.
Because we're still pretty much all on the bottom, though, and we've got somebody leading the outside line. That was 37. Carter, he's a lap down, but I believe he's the first. Yeah, he's the first car 1 lap down. So if caution were to come out, he would get the lucky dog in this instance. So he's definitely not going to give it up to Hoke, because Hoke is also a lap down. And he wants to keep him behind him at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I know I popped the question earlier about, you know, what kind of field would you want to pit with? Being a lap down, what would your take at that point be on it?
I don't know. Well, everybody's moving to the bottom, so we'll just need to see what they do. I'd maybe stay out, hope that there's a caution when they get to pit road, because that's not uncommon to see, as we're going to see if one happens right here. As who's going to smoke it getting in? The 13's getting all he can. Oh, there it is. I was waiting for it to happen. I don't think that'll bring out a caution, though. Rhett getting on pit road. Teft is involved. The 8 is involved. Teft looks like he's actually going to get away pretty unscathed, saying that that was a pretty big incident. He's got some right front damage, though, but that's one thing with the big group. People get too aggressive getting in, but Wayne Scott and Vest stayed out. So they're going to have a clean entry overall, though, so they may still be able to come out with the lead, and the 17 misses pit stall. That is not good if you're Brett.
Curtis Ecker in that 8 car, he is still having issues in that grass. I think he's going to have to possibly get a tow in because there he goes. He just requested a tow. And Curtis Ecker, that's very unfortunate for him coming down pit road, has a lot of damage there. Oh, he gets it refired. He's finally moving again.
It looks like he maybe would have had steering damage, possibly. Yeah, he's got some heavy steering damage. Looks like it's probably broken the suspension on one of the sides of the car, because it is kind of like wedged itself up to a certain extent. But that'll put Terry Fennell to the lead. The 37 actually does get his lap back, so he will be able to stay on the. He'll be able to get his lap back here in a minute. Sorry, he's not got it back yet. I can back by around these leaders, but he's going to be fighting to keep this lead to a. It's going to look weird that he's going to be fighting to keep the lead, because he's not leading, but he doesn't want to go a lap down. He doesn't want to have to wave around here. Wayne Scott and Vest are out and away. They might actually be able to stay ahead of this whole group here, because they had a clean pit stop. Everybody else struggled with theirs. I think they will, because that's only the 06 there. They're going to be way ahead of them.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is for Wayne Scott and Fennell is how separated they are on track. So this big old pack, they're coming, and they're coming fast.
They are not he's got the 17 with them, but yeah, that's not going to be enough to hold them there. But Wayne Scott will get the lead, so pits a lap later, avoids all that mess that happened. That definitely broke up this group to where there are just two different tandems now. Now you got to wonder, when you go back down pit road around lap 60, you're going to have that in the back of your mind. Hey, we hit it like this earlier with a big group, and somebody spun and messed us all up.
Yeah, I think the biggest obstacle we're going to see right now is, like, currently this front pack, there's 7 cars, or 8 cars, I'm sorry. So that's doable. So I don't, unless if we have a caution and we bunch everybody back up, I think that's when we'll start getting that, well, do I want to come down with the big pack or not?
I'd still try to come in with the big pack, but I would maybe, try to stay in the back of it. I wouldn't go up in front of it when they go down pit road. I may take my brake bias a little bit towards the front again, so I don't risk spinning out under braking. It just depends on the driver that you are.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I'm actually one of the few drivers that I don't even mess with the brake bias coming down on pit road, because I've kind of like mastered exactly what I need to do not to lock up my brakes. Oh, and they're 3 wide. Not sure what's going on there.
I think they may have just got tired of the 37 and shucked them out there. I was a little bit confused, but Wayne Scott and this 17 are actually able to stretch their lead out here. So Wayne Scott's got one car with him, and it may just be where they're not lined up necessarily the best, that Wayne Scott, with that one car behind him, just able to hold his gap, because he's actually extended it a little bit. He extended it by more than half a second here.
Yep. So Wayne Scott's actually running just about the same speed as Fennel out front in this pack. So they're actually running just about the same speed. So that might not make a big difference if you only have two cars.
Let's just see. Yeah, they're gaining another tenth there. That 37 is trying to stay in front of this group. He does not want to have to deal with this. And I don't blame him for trying to stay in front of this group. That's what he has to do. As long as he doesn't wreck everybody, I'll be fine with that. I know you got it. Those guys back there, they're probably a little bit annoyed by him deciding to kind of lead this pack. They don't really want to be dealing with that. They want to be leading it. You don't ever want to be the second person in line. It's just a bunch of issues that arise because of it, even if you don't mean to cause issues. It looks like he's not going to be able to do that. But Wayne Scott is still stretching his lead out. He's over 5 seconds here. So he's not going to be hoping for a caution. He's going to be hoping that this stays green. And he's got that, and that he keeps his 17 behind him because he's stretching it out.
Yeah, that's definitely something you really don't see very often at super speedway cars is that two-car tandem that we used to see. What I believe was like the early 2010s, I think it was, with the car tomorrow. They would have that two-car tandem going, and you don't see that very often. But it looks like that two-car tandem's working here for Wayne Scott perfectly fine.
Yeah, it was early 2010s, and I actually know why they were able to do that. They at that time, one thing too, they actually had where you could talk to the other driver. The drivers could talk to each other from their radio, but now what kind of broke that up is I think one NASCAR told them stop doing that, and two, they also made the radiator smaller so it would actually overheat. Before it wouldn't overheat, so they were able to be hooked up with each other. This group is just hurting themselves more and more just doing this. It is not working out for them.
No, it's not, as we got three wide action, and they're now leaving Alan Carter right there in the dead center, but he's holding his own back there, still running them three wide as he's now once again getting help by the 98 there.
This group they were only 2/10 slower that lap, but that is just not what you expect. And with these guys driving side by side with each other, this 38's being side drafted inadvertently by these guys on the outside of them. So it is just not working well for them at all.
And Alan Carter once again is a very happy driver because he had Andrew Taft right behind him, push him all the way to the front, and then Taft, he did abandon him back to the outside, so he's still fighting to get that lap back, but he ain't giving up.
Let me see what these guys can do. I'm just surprised that they're losing. I think they may have gained a little bit. Yeah, they're going to gain just a tad this lap. I mean, not even a tenth though. They're basically even that lap, but still, I would think that they would be gaining way more than this. But they're getting close to. No, they're not close to halfway. Lap 47 would be halfway. They're 7 laps away from that. A little bit of damage on this 37 though. Teft's hopped down to that bottom line, but Teft is still somewhat stalled out here. They can get by that 37. If they can really get that third car broken free of that outside car, they should be able to gain some time here. And I think they may have done it finally for them.
It seems like Alan Carter went ahead and called it quits and finally let Austin Norris surround him. And so it looks like they might start making their way. Nope, they're still trying to ride that second lane right there.
I do see they gained about they're going to be gaining about 2/10 that lap, it looks like. I do see the time going down a little bit. Well, I see really quick now. They're going to gain about 4/10. Yeah, they gained a lot of time, so Teft has settled down here now. He is really going for it. I do not think Wayne Scott's lead is going to last much longer.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's just went from 4.5 seconds all the way down to 4 seconds. So it's definitely on its way down.
And it's dropping even quicker now. I wonder if Wayne Scott's... There's no way Wayne Scott's laid off here, but I'm just surprised that they're gaining like this because they've actually got guys on the outside of them again, but they're sorting it out really quickly too, so that may be a big difference here. They're not racing side by side forever. They're getting side by side for like 10 seconds, and then they're done with that, so that's a possibility. That's letting them gain like they are.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 17 now. He's definitely off the back bumper now. And he's just having a hard time getting back to that bumper, whereas, you know, Austin Norris, he has that better push right there from Andrew Taft. So that's definitely making a big difference on that gap, and now they're just 2 seconds behind, and they're in striking distance now.
They have gained a lot. They're running 51s now. That's actually the fastest lap of the race for Teft. Running 51.50. So they have really, really picked up the pace. And I wonder what's going to happen when they get to him. Will they be able to make a move, or will they just kind of stall behind him? Really, I guess it really depends more on the momentum than anything else, on what they're going to do here move-wise.
Well, before, they were running too wide, you know, not really single file and just not really pushing. But ever since they got, you know, themselves together, they're now topping at just about 190 miles an hour, where Kirby is only able to hit about 183, maybe 184 if he's lucky.
Let's have to see what they do. It'll be interesting here. 182, 187, so I don't think there's a... maybe here in a minute. They're going to catch him coming off of 4, so we'll see what they do. Now, it's going to be a question, does Wayne Scott try to jam him up here, or does he just let him by? I think it'd be a smart thing to let him by here. I feel like if you try to jam him, it's going to be a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shucks out that 17. The 7 trying to go to the outside, but it looks like Teft will actually stay with the 10 of Wayne Scott. So Norris going to try to get the lead. I don't think he's going to be able to get it. He's going to drop back a lot of positions because of that.
That was actually a very interesting move there. You know, I expected them to try to freight train their way around the 10, especially after the 17 got up and out of the way there. So the fact that they didn't make that freight train, I guess they're just comfortable riding around right now, you know, saving fuel.
You know, we're going to go off topic here a little bit. The algorithm for social media is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. Today I got suggested a video, how to make pickle Pepsi at home for free, uploaded 8 days ago. 800,000 views, and it's one of those typical, like, what in the world is this video, that type thing. I don't understand.
Pickled Pepsi.
How to make pickle Pepsi at home for free. And it's one of those old people that looks like they're, like, on something. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, that is one of the weirdest things. And I got suggested it at work, and I was like, why is this popping up on my feed? Well, these guys... So came down, flat. I just close it down. 30, so 14, 15 laps. Somewhere around there, most likely, if I had to guess.
Yeah, we're definitely creeping in on that next pit stop for sure. And we do have an outside line trying to form now.
See what Norris does here. Where is... So Carter is going to be fighting Bray for... Yeah. He's going to be battling Bray for this. I hope to hold him behind him. I think that this 37 is going to... We're going to see a lot of blocks be thrown here in a minute. I'm just going to say that much. It may get him wrecked. Yeah. It may not get him wrecked. We're about to find out. Then if he gets him wrecked, then, well, that sucks for him. So that 7's going to try to... He's going to lose some spots here. He's not going to bleed too badly, though, but he's got to keep that in mind. That this didn't work when he tried to go up high. So he needs to keep that in his having a stroke over here in the back of his mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it also all depends on, you know, how aggressive the guy is behind you as well. You know, so if Carter's just not that comfortable pushing, you know, Norris, then that's where a lot of issues are going to come in.
Yeah, and we've yet to see aggressive pushes here. They've been pretty calm overall. They've not been getting up on each other and just shoving as hard as they can. So
right.
I think that they, you know, should be fine with each other. I think that later on in the race they'll start pushing hard, but right now they're kind of just in.
Yeah, that middle lane, there's a lot of movement going on down there, especially coming out of these corners. So they really got to watch themselves with that.
So I said they're going to come down a lap. So set at lap 46, they'll be 14 to 15 laps. If they do that, though, they're going to be 4 laps short. But they need to run this tank basically dry, build up as much as they can, most likely flip-flop on the lead. I would not want to be leading overall just because I think that you're going to be burning way too much fuel.
Yeah, if you do it right, you know, you could actually clutch in just a little bit and clutch back out while in this draft. It's a little risky because, you know, it could end in disaster, but if you're able to do that, you know, and play with the throttle, you might be able to save just enough at that point.
41.9 or 41. 51.9, 51.1. So they're slowed down their pace. Evidently, they are not. They're not running full pace. So I think they might be trying to get a little bit longer on their fuel mileage. Let's see if they run this lap. So 51.9. Fastest is a 51.2. I think you have to get somewhere around. You probably got to run about 3 laps at that. No, probably 4 or 5 laps at that pace to get another lap. They just dropped about another 10th off the pace, though. So they may be trying to stretch their fuel like I thought they were. Might as well save right now. Do not try to save later in the run. That is one of the hardest things to do. Trying to save later in the run because you just don't have enough time to slow down the pace and not get just blown by everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. As you look and as you see that 37 and 17, they're actually working together. I think they're thinking maybe we can just, you know, get our lap back together if we work together. And that's actually a pretty smart move right there by those two.
See a little bit of a second curve back here. They are way off the pace. 20 seconds back. So they are basically a non-factor here at the moment, unless they caution were to happen and group them all back up, which is a possibility. So can't say it's not. It's all happened before. It's a 38 back there, I believe. I think. Who was that? Was that 38? Yes, that was. That was Kelly on that bottom row. This group up here is starting to push a little bit, though. You see kind of all jammed up behind Wayne Scott. So this is going to get a little bit interesting here. How hard do these guys push each other? They push to the extent that they wreck, or do they just push to push? So it's the age-old question, dawned on humans since the start of time: to push or not to push. If it ends up well.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't mind, giving a little bit of pushing here and there, but for me, it's still way too early to be aggressive on my pushing.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do. They, Seven's getting somewhat of a shove on that high line, but not too big of one.
Yeah, there's been times, early on in this race, like right now, we still got 40 laps to go when they come back to the line. I'm like, well, you want to push me that hard? I'm just going to move up, let you by, because I'm not ready to be wrecked just yet.
Some people pushing are absolute weapons. I'm looking at you, top split A people. You think that top split...
Right?
Yeah, you think that people at top split wouldn't be as bad with pushing, but good lord, I've never seen some idiots in A-class top split. It's a bunch of stupid idiots. They're all stupid. They're all from China. But let's go on a rant. A-drivers, top split A-class drivers that are high IR need to take an ego test, and if they fail, go right back down to rookies. Because some of them have egos that are way too big and they cause a lot of accidents. Sean Conklin. Absolutely. Hopefully he sees that, knows that I called him out. The 10, the 7, the 98. Still all in that, or in the top 3 right now, but really no push there from the 37. So that 7's going to have to rely on side drafts here, and I don't think he's going to get any, so he's going to be kind of stuck on that there.
Yeah, side drafts can only get you so far, as a single driver. So you definitely really have to rely on those cars behind you. And the 37 and 17, they're not doing a really good job for that middle lane.
How jammed up will they be? How wrecked will they be? Oh, excuse me here for a minute.
Absolutely.
Ugh, excuse me, that was nice. Flavored water is my enemy, apparently.
Now that middle lane is starting to make some movement onto the outside of Wayne Scott there, that 10 machine. So that middle lane, they're a little bit more organized than they were, and that allowed them to pull up, 3, 4 cars now, as you see Norris continuing to use that side draft a little bit in the corner there to slow down Andrew Taft. And that's actually how the side draft works, is you're actually pulling air away from the car next to you, which is actually slowing them down. So you're really not going faster. You're actually just slowing that car down that you're side drafting off of.
Yeah, and I don't know how bad these cars are at side drafting. It had been a while since since I drove them, but I know that the next gens you side draft, you drop like 10 miles per hour immediately. It is ridiculous. It is not fun.
That actually just absolutely fascinates me how the side draft works. Because like, if I'm doing the side drafting, I have the benefit, but yet if I get side drafted, I don't have the benefit. Like, in my mind, it doesn't make sense on how it works.
It is unknown. But 6 laps, possibly? Maybe 8 laps. We'll see some pit stops here. I think 8 laps. Right around there. That's when we'll see it. Gonna have a lap car up here. So we're gonna be running up on them, and I think that they should be staying high. And I don't see where he went. Was it the? Yeah, it was a 14 there, so he's out of the way of them now.
Jackson was the one that I was saying that was having that little bit of a loose issue going through the tri-oval. So he unfortunately lost the draft at some point, and now he is a couple laps down here now.
Yeah, I'd almost wonder if he's got some damage somewhere that we just can't see. I wouldn't think so, but that is a possibility. That can happen.
Well, I'm still, yeah, she came down the road on lap.
Let's see. Got here. Okay, it's gonna be 7, 10, 98, 50. I don't know what they're gonna do. Oh, never mind. So they're going to try to go 30 laps, 34 laps on fuel. A little bit of a split. Everybody gets down in time, it looks like. They sure as heck got all they could, that's for sure. No black flags. So you need to see when Teft and these other guys come down pit road.
Yeah, that time by it looked like everybody locked up their tires.
They're going to stay out one more lap. So they're going to try to get their fuel a little bit longer. It makes sense to see them do that. They probably want to get it. They probably don't want to be running right on the edge. They don't want to be saving. They want to be able to keep a foot to the floor. As Chris Goxel, he got a black flag. And 1, 2, 3. Who's going to get down to pit road speed? Hoke is not going to make... Oh, Hoke, you got all you could, bud. And that's a speeding penalty for Chris Goxel on exit, it looks like, I think. Maybe not, might have been entry. I think Marcus and Teft will come down pit road now for their pit stop.
Looks like Mike Fudge also has a black flag as well.
Vest, Marcus, and Teft. Vest still needs to come down pit road. Wayne Scott will catch Teft here, probably coming off of 2 here, maybe? Because he is flying. I'm trying to think of, yeah, he'll catch him coming off the 2 here. He does not have the speed that he needs to stay in front of him, or the gap at all. He is really struggling with that gap.
Looks like Vest is now heading down pit road now.
The Vest finally down. I think that we will see him, that he should be staying there for a little bit. I don't think he's going to have a lot of time.
and the field just came out of turn number 4, so he's definitely going to go a lap down here, or I'm sorry, he'll definitely lose the race lead here, you know, before he even can get to the backstretch.
He'll probably join up with Chavez and Fettig. It's only
Oh,
real
we have trouble. We have trouble. The caution's out.
Yeah, I saw smoke, and it looks like it's the 38 of Jack Kelly. He was around. I don't know what happened to him exactly. We're going to go back and look. That does bring out the caution. I saw smoke right before you said it. Just got loose there, it looks like. That was odd.
Yeah, definitely a very odd occurrence there. It looked like he was just in there following the 37, and it just like the air got taken off his rear, his spoiler in the back, and it just brought him around.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that even makes me question what I just saw, because wasn't really near anybody. He wasn't doing much, but he was just kind of riding there. But that's good for these guys that came down pit road, though.
Yeah. So this like changes the whole dynamics of the race.
To see who gets the lucky dog. I think it should be Alan Carter who gets that. I think. I don't think we'll see anybody come down pit road here. That just wouldn't make any sense for them to do that. Just coming down right now, it's just not a... Yeah. You're going to stay out. Guarantee you we're going to see clutching, though, from Wayne Scott. Nope. Nope. No clutching. I would be safe. There it is. Somebody's doing it. Who was that? Teft? I think it might have been Teft. No, it wasn't
Oh,
Teft.
they are coming down pit road.
I don't know if I would have came down. Like, I don't know if I would have. I feel like you can stay out. You can afford to stay out here. I feel like you can. And get away with it. But that's their choice. Everybody came down pit road, though. So that should give a decent amount of people a wave around because of that also. Interesting. Interesting move from them. But while these guys are under caution here, we're going to go on mute for just a little bit. back. As the pace car pulls off here, 67 laps of 94 done. 27 left here. Wayne Scott, Norris, Fennell, and Teft, your top four, going to be entering the restart zone here as the green flag is in the air. We are back underway. Got able to hold his lead, the 50 of Fennell behind him. Norris qualified third, currently running third. Biggest mover right now is Teft, riding fourth. He is up 13 positions at the moment. But he's done a really good job this entire night. Wayne Scott can do here. Wayne Scott's not going to be defending too hard here. Still got, 24 or 25 laps left here. So, no, sorry, 20. I'm right around there. I'm right on the edge, yeah. 26 laps right now. Working on 25. So Carter has new life. A lot of these guys have new life. Nelson's a lap down. Bray's a lap down. So these guys back here are going to be hoping that a caution happens, and they don't need to be involved in it. So it's probably a good idea if they just ride out behind other people. You do not want to be having to deal with that.
I'm sorry about that. I did have a phone call. I've been watching that 37 of Alan Carter. He can do as a lap down car, and so we're about to see him come to life as we go 3 wide for the race lead. Oh, trouble behind.
Oh, there it is. A little bit of a big one. This is a big one here. A lot of cars involved.
Big
this is
one.
8 or 9 vehicles. Most likely Teft is destroyed. Not Teft. Hoke is destroyed. A lot of other guys are destroyed, it looks like, from this incident. So we'll have to record the VIN if it will stop switching on me every time I look at it. This is a big wreck here. So
And I was just talking about that 37 too.
13 of Frank Chavez. There's 2. The 37 gets turned, and then it's just kind of on from there. Everybody else basically just piles in. They have just nowhere to go after that. But Hoke that tire is, he is steering sideways. He's got a meatball. No, sorry, Chavez has a meatball. Bray has a meatball. Nelson has a meatball. I have no idea how Hoke does not have a meatball, because that car is not steering straight at all. Actually, it is steering straight, but it's not straight. That wheel is pointed.
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that wheel is pointed towards me. Pointed towards the yellow line. What are these points? So that'll give. We'll get Elite a lucky dog here. So it says it should be Eckerd. He doesn't have damage, so I think he will be able to get it. I think. They're going to come back down pit road and top off here. I wouldn't think they're going to be getting damage fixed. A little bit. questionable. That does give a lot of guys a wave around. I think Vest is going to stay out, so they won't get a wave around, actually. So Vest is going to hold up the group here because of that. Might actually not even get the lead because... No. So Fennel and Vest stayed out. Sorry, that's my bad. Chavez got a black flag. Kelly got a black flag. Nelson got a black flag. Bray, you don't have a hood, so you need to come down pit road. It will not let you race like that. Eisburn, Hope, Kelly be down pit road. They're going to be getting all their optional damage fixed here. We'll probably get the green with 20 laps left here, but I will go on mute again while these guys are currently under caution. See, pace car pulls off here. 22 laps left in this race. 50 and the 06 leading the field back to green as enter the restart zone here. And the green flag is back in the air. We are back underway here. The 50 and the 06. 06 does not get a good restart. He will be left in the dust here because of that. Cat, get off my desk. Quit shoving your face into the microphone, please. Your hair is already all over it. Nelson is currently sitting in the pits Fennel looks like he may be left out to dry here. Wayne Scott and Teft have gotten back together, and they look like they are working to shove him by. Shut up, cat. Get off my desk. As they will do that easily, so Wayne Scott to the lead. I think Teft will possibly be staying a little bit in line with him.
Yep, we now got 20 laps remaining in tonight's event. And it's still pretty much anybody's race at this point, you know, they're just depending on how everybody races.
How do these guys decide to race is the question mark. I think we'll see a lot of guys throw their head in the gutter and not use it anymore. That's what happens a lot of times. It's going to depend. We're going to look at Wayne Scott up. You see the 06 of Vest in that high line. He's only got one guy behind him, though, so I don't think that he's going to really be that much of a factor because of that. I think he's going to be too straddled down by that guy. Needs more people to come with him. Where will he make the move? If I'd be looking at this 13 of Chavez. Chavez, he'll end up making a move here that will decide the fate of about 2 cars at least in front of him. I don't think he'll be able to get to Wayne Scott just because of the side draft. Ray just ran his fastest lap, 50.82.
Yeah, actually, quite a few drivers just ran their fastest that last time by Wayne Scott, Fettig, Gasol, Norris, Fudge, and Jackson. They all ran their fastest lap of the race this last lap.
Coming to 17 to go. No big moves have been made yet. They're still pretty even overall. They're not really being too aggressive with it. Someone's going to make a lot of moves here.
A lot of movement of that V8 machine. Jack Kelly that last time out of turn 2.
Fennel Vest up here. Where are they going to make a move? Wayne. If you're Wayne Scott here, it's going to be weird. Because you're trying to block everybody. But you can't leave any lane open.
Exactly. And that is probably one of the hardest things as a race leader. As, you know, as the leader, you're now trying to control both lanes. And that's actually really only something that we started seeing maybe about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. You know, the race leader jumping between both lanes, you know, taking over, you know, where the run is coming. But trying to do it here with us as inexperienced real-world racers, it's kind of tough to do.
I'm with 15 to go. then 5 is when I think we'll see somebody move out. They're 3 wide now. Never mind. Throw that away. Whatever I just said, throw it out the window. They're already 3 wide back here behind him. That's around Norris. Norris is a lap car, though. Excuse me. I can guarantee you that this 06 is probably not too happy with Norris at the moment. I would not be surprised if... Yeah, he's going to be really hurt from this. If he can get Norris to come down in front of him, though, that might change that. Looks like he will be able to do that, so let's see what he's able to do. Got him coming with him. And 06 came to 06 is just dying quickly. That 7's going to try to get his lap back the hard way. He's able to do it right now. They're not going to be worried about fuel. They're going to have enough fuel to the end. Everybody can go. Maybe a green-white checkered attempt might be a big issue here for them, possibly. I'm not completely sure. I don't think it's going to be too much. Scott does.
Racing is starting to get a little bit more hectic as some of these drivers start moving around a little bit more. You know, trying to decide, you know, what lane they want to be in, if they even should go or they want to stay. So that's something we're going to be watching the next few laps as we reach just about the 10 to go in about 3 laps.
We got a meatball here. Did Hope just blow up? Yep, he blew up. Let's say I had a feeling that's what happened to Hope, because he wasn't doing much. That front end damage evidently got to him, and engine just decided to expire on him, which sucks for him. Basically, there goes his shot for the whole entire race. I don't know. Gonna be coming to 12 to go. The only car that Wayne Scott has to worry about is actually Kelly. I didn't realize that. Kelly, he was involved. I think he was involved in that the wreck before. Got that car fixed. He's about to turn Norris here if he's not careful. So I'd be worried if I was him.
I was about to say Norris absolutely has his hand in that number 7 machine trying to get that lap back, and you know Kelly's saying, I don't mind working with you, but we gotta go.
And sometimes too, that guy that's behind you, if he's moving up and down like that, you may be holding a very pretty line, but that guy behind you is one of the most nerve-wracking things, because when they hit you wrong, it kind of like picks your rear end up and it moves it to the side. And that is one of the harder. There's nothing like you as the driver can do. It's the guy behind you is driving like an idiot, and you just gotta hope that you don't get turned. It's like, oh crap! At that point, you are relying on people around you, which is not good in racing. You want to rely on yourself. Don't rely on somebody around you to not do something dumb. It just never works out well.
Absolutely, as you see, Norris using everything he can, including the side draft on the race leader, you know, to get his lap back. But unfortunately, it didn't really benefit him that time coming down the back straightaway. But hopefully they can accomplish something this next lap.
Kelly needs to have the 1 go with him, get around this 7. But if you can't get him to go, then it's going to be difficult for them to really make a move, because he needs to get that 7 out of the way. He's hoping that maybe that he can shove that 7 up in front of Wayne Scott so he can be leading that line, possibly. But
there he goes. He stuck his nose.
Yes, 7 looks like he moved up just a little bit. So that'll give Kelly the line that he wants. Those two are actually, looks like those two are most likely teammates there. Paint scheme. So Wayne Scott and Teft on the bottom. What the 38 is going to be trying to do is he does not want that 98 to have a clear shot to the outside, but he doesn't want to be right on his door. He doesn't want to be dealing with that side draft. He wants to block out the 38, or not 38, the 98, but get a big enough of a run to where he can get to the quarter panel of that 10, as I think he may be able to get it right here. He goes down now. He's going to be able to side draft him, but he's not going to do it. He's going to be too short to be able to get that move.
Kelly and Kessel, they're definitely working very well together on that outside. As you mentioned, you know, they're sporting the same scheme, just different colors. You know, so they're working very well. One of these drivers definitely want to win this race.
38's gotten to that door at the 10 finally, so he can finally kind of box him out here, hold that position. Oh, somebody just died in the back. I don't know who that was, but whoever, that was a hard hit. That may have been the 7-Eleven of Fettig. That was a car that went straight to the outside wall.
Upside down. He was upside down.
I saw somebody just kill the outside wall. Good Lord. So, is this just not realizing? Oh, somebody disappears, don't they? 14 comes up into the 17. The 17 starts to get turned, and that sends him back down into the 14. That's none of the 17's fault. 17's trying to shove that 7-Eleven off of him. Finally does, and comes to rest on all fours. But that was a hard hit for that 7-Eleven. I knew that was going to be vicious, but I did not expect that.
Yeah, definitely a very hard hit there for the 7-Eleven machine. But hopefully he has it, you know, a backup car in play, and you know, we can get things going for him again.
While these guys are under caution, though, we will go on mute. We will be back here with, I think, 4 to go, as we got 4 meatball flags, so hopefully those guys have their fast repairs for the end of the race. And we are back here. 5 to go, coming to 4. Not a green-white checkered attempt here. This is a normal attempt. I don't expect this to be clean. These guys are going to get a little bit rough with each other. Race car is in as they enter the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is back in the air. We are back underway.
It looked like something happened to the 50 there on that restart. He got like shoved down under the yellow, but was able to come back up on track just fine, as he'll still stay that third car in the inside lane.
Sadly, though, I'm looking at this right now. The 10 has a black flag. Captain, please get off my desk. Quit jumping up here. So, Wayne Scott, unless it gets cleared by RC, maybe a possible issue with... I don't know. Restart, because, I mean, that was a kind of a jumbled restart. Let's have to see.
That would be absolutely devastating for Kirby Wayne Scott, who is currently stuck on that outside lane. So him trying to come down the pit road to serve it, it might be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get to the bottom. That's going to be holding up Tef. So Wayne Scott, he's... I don't know. Oh, there goes 2 cars down to the inside. Looks like they keep it straight, though. That was a 1 of Steve Castle's. Castle's going to be able to merge back up safely. Wayne Scott still has that black flag. Maybe not going to serve it, going to challenge it instead, but you only have a certain amount of time to, keep that, or to serve it until you get disqualified. That's what I was trying to say. But he will go to the lead here with 3 to go, coming to 2. Teft on his inside, right behind him. The 38 of Kelly. Kelly looking to make a move. He's going to make it now. He needs to do it. That 50's got a pretty big run. Looks like it died down now, though. The 7 will go to the inside. Norris is back in the picture here. Fought all race to get back on the lead lap.
I believe the 10 car, he will have to come down this time, or else I think he will be disqualified from the event. So I think he should just go ahead and come on down to get that penalty served.
The 10, the 98. Teft looks like he's working to the outside as he will do that now, and Teft is going to come down in front of the 38. He gets turned. Going to be able to merge back up on track right back in front of the 38, but the 41 of Marcus will be able to get the lead there. Teft trying to hold on to his position. He will, but Marcus getting a shove there from Norris. Now Marcus is going to not be shucked outside. The 7 tried to do it. He actually will be shucked outside. We're 4 wide here.
4 wide for the race lead. Final lap. It is all go time.
We got Castle, Marcus, Norris, and now it's back down to 3 wide. I think whoever has the shove down the backstretch, and it's the 1. He's got the 50 behind him, but here comes Tef with a big shot to Marcus. Can Tef wedge his way through? Now the 1 has been shucked out to the outside here. A little bit of a door bang, but from the 41. Can the 1 pick up a drafting partner? Looks like he won't be able to. Now the 41 has to hope that the 1 boxes in that 98. He's not going to be able to. Norris going to be coming with a run here to Teft. How aggressive does Teft be? Marcus trying to line him up. Shove is not enough. Teft can't get to the quarter panel through the trial, and it will be Aaron Marcus at the line. Andrew Teft second, and Austin Norris, he will come home third.
What a finish. It seems that Wayne Scott, he was fighting tooth and nail, trying to get that black flag cleared, but race control held on to that call, and that forced him to come down with coming to 1 to go, and all hell broke loose right after that. But it was a phenomenal run to final lap, including 4 wide at one point.
I did not think they were going to make that 4 wide work, but they did, and it may have only been for, 2 seconds, but going 4 wide is a gutsy move for anybody to make.
Yeah, absolutely. But at that point, when you've got, it's the final lap and the line is there, because you could do it here at Talladega. So they went for it, made it stick. No, everybody came back clean out of that, thankfully. And we had an awesome run to the finish.
Watch Tef burn it down here.
You mean Marquise?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Marcus, I don't know why I said Teft. I just thought 41. For some reason, I thought that was Teft for some odd reason.
Well, it's because he's one strong dude out here on super speedways.
He is. Well, the race results here. Bring in the third place driver in Austin Norris. Hey, Austin, this is Mike and Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, buddy. What's up?
Man, so you had to fight there a lot of the race to even get back on the lead lap, and then you come home third. How was the whole race for you? Because it seemed like you fought and you made it work there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, the whole, plan coming into the race was save fuel, be there at the end, and then, got caught up in that big one. Almost barely made it back to pit road, had to take the fast repair, lost a lap. And my initial plan was just get to the front and get my, lap back the old fashioned way, but got a wreck and got it back and had a chance to fight for it.
Excuse me here. So, what was going through your head that last lap? Because you guys were 4 wide at one point there.
That's what I was going to say. My teammate ended up wrecking out a little bit earlier, so he was spotting for me. And he come over the radio and he said, "You're 4 wide, just don't move." And I looked out to the right and I just seen a line of cars. And I seen Tef coming up behind. I was hoping he would go with me because, then I'd have a chance for the win since me and him are in the points battle. But he went with somebody else. And I mean, it all worked out in the end to an extent. Was able to minimize the points losses.
So how has the season, gone for you overall? Though, because you've been doing good, and then you get involved in stuff that just isn't your fault at all. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, there's bad luck, every once in a while because at the end of the day, it is a super speedway. But I got 2 wins this season. I think 2 or 3 poles, coming in tonight. One race out of the championship, qualify third, finish third. I mean, can't really complain because I think it puts me within enough points to still have a chance to, fight for the next weekend.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, want to thank Sky Motorsports. Like I said, Danny jumped in and spotted for me. All the friends and family that watched the streams on Friday. Want to shout out, primary sponsor for Green Chili Jam. Picked him up last week, and we'll have W on the car next weekend. So that'll be a couple other sponsors we can add to it. But I think that's about it, buddy.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming home third tonight, man.
Yes, sir. I do appreciate it.
That was Austin Norris, third place driver. We will bring in the second place driver in Andrew Teft. Hey, Andrew, this is Bryce and Mike in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, so that was a crazy last lap. What was going through your head there? Because you almost went through the dirt. You guys were 4 wide, and then you just couldn't make the move there through the tri-oval.
Well, I knew Kirby was pitting there, so I wanted to kind of move up a little bit and give those guys a heads up behind me that he was coming in. And I guess when I came back down, I wasn't quite clear, so kind of turned myself off into the infield a little bit, but was able to save it and get back on track and get door banged a little bit more. But yeah, down the backstretch, I had a heck of a run, seeing I fell so far back that I was able to just kind of draft up and get this huge run, and saw Aaron there and gave him the shot, and glad he hung on to it because it was a pretty big one. But I didn't want to waste it either. So, but I don't know. I guess thoughts were just on Austin because of our championship battle. So, so he managed to skate through that little accident and needed to pass him quickly at the end there. And we were 3 wide. He was on the bottom, so I helped Aaron in the middle, I believe, just playing it back in my head, and worked out right so that I could at least get him by one spot. I think probably around 7 ahead for next week or something.
So how has the season, gone so far for you? Because you have always been up front at these races.
Yeah, I just try to be smart and stay out of trouble and be patient, not stick my nose places, at least early. You know, choose when I take my risks, and I try to pass a lot of the cars on pit roads, so I'm not in the middle of the pack a lot. And that's it really. Just trying to keep my pit stops short by saving fuel when I can, so I don't have to add as much fuel as other guys. And I was a little nervous tonight because I had to use my my fast repair on that pit entry accident with Curtis, but had to behave myself for the rest of the race, and luckily was able to save it a couple times there at the end, and it all worked out.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I want to say congrats to Aaron. He had mentioned that's his first win. I thought he had some others because he's usually pretty quick places, but congrats to him. And I want to thank our servicemen and women, you guys, for helping out in the booth, friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. It's free. Just got to push one button. It helps us out. We're trying to get to 1,000, so we appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming home second tonight, man.
Thanks, fellas.
Andrew Teff, the second place driver. We will bring in the race winner, and Aaron Marcus. Cat, get your fluffy tail out of my face. Hey, Aaron, this is Bryson Mike in the booth. Got a copy, man?
I do.
And so you come home with the win there. What was going through your head that last lap? Because y'all were 4 wide at one point.
Yeah, I didn't know for sure if we were 4 wide, so I just made sure not to hit anyone. And then I think we got 3 wide, and I got that push from Andrew, and I was sailing on to the finish line from there.
Now, so did you think, that Andrew was going to try to make a move there, coming to the tribal, because he had room, but it looks like he was just not able to get a run there.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna just go to the outside and drive right by me. I didn't know if he had help behind him or not. I was just gonna stick to the bottom lane and hope it worked, and it did.
Yeah, definitely. It was just crazy overall, and you qualified 10th, but how did it go for you overall though? Because you were kind of a non-factor the whole entire night, though, it looked like.
Yeah, I definitely was a non-factor. I just played it safe. I mean, that's how I run all my super speedway races. I just stay mid-pack, save fuel, pit with the group, and then just get back out there. And when it's time to make a move, the final 5 to 10 laps, that's when I start to move up, because you see a lot of people, they want to go to the outside to get that run. And I just stayed at the bottom, and I gain a couple positions every few laps, and that's just how I roll, I guess.
So how has your season gone so far in this series here in Racers Elite?
I didn't make the playoffs, so I wish I did, because that'd be a a good spot for me now, but I didn't make the playoffs. But overall, it hasn't gone my way. Just a lot of wrecks that I've been involved with, but maybe that's just from pushing too hard, or I don't know.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank Andrew for putting these series on. He does a great job with that, and for the push he gave me on 3 wide there. That was great. All of my teammates that I play with, every week here. Want to thank you guys in the booth. You guys do a great job every week. And I also want to shout out my wife. And I think that's it. We're good.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good job coming home with the win tonight, man.
All right. Take care, guys.
Aaron Marcus, the race winner. Now, how was the race from your point of view there, Mike? Because it definitely got really hectic there towards the end.
The race was settled, nice, smooth sailing, and then all chaos broke loose the last restart. Kind of what I expected there on the final restart, but I did not expect to see that 4 wide situation.
Yeah, I didn't think they go 4 wide. I thought maybe 3 wide, but 4 wide, I did not have that on my bucket list. But it was a good race. overall, I'm not gonna keep y'all any longer. I have to work out still, and then I gotta design cards tomorrow and maybe take sports photos. So I'm not gonna keep y'all here any longer. But I will see you all on Friday for the next race. Did we have a race last week? Because it feels like we didn't. Am I just thinking about something else? I feel like it had been 2 weeks. I don't know. It felt like it was forever. It's been a long week, but I'm not going to keep y'all here any longer. I will let you all go.